What is Chinese politics about? It's one of the things I teach in this university. Chinese politics is, first of all, of course, about the Chinese Communist Party. But once you've said that, you haven't said much, because the Communist Party is a very complex and big organization. So a lot of people tend to look at Chinese politics at the center in Beijing, the president, Xi Jinping, and the people working in Beijing. But actually, China is a huge country, and Chinese politics also operates at provincial level and sub-provincial levels. Another thing is a lot of people think that Chinese politics remain the same all the time. It's not true. I mean, there's been a lot of changes. With the arrival of Xi Jinping in power, there's been changes which tend to demonstrate that actually what he wanted to do is to correct some of the things which didn't work before. So Chinese politics is something which is changing. It's true that the Communist Party itself is rather opaque. There are a lot of things we don't know, but there are a lot of things we do know. And that's one of the reasons it's important to teach Chinese politics, in order to better understand the current situation and the future of the world's second economy. Now, if we turn to Chinese foreign policy, one of the questions which a lot of people ask themselves is, why has China become more assertive? And the answer is rather simple and at the same time quite complex. The simple answer is, well, China is more assertive because it's more powerful. Being the second economy in the world, China wants to be a dominant power in Asia, wants to compete with the United States more than before, and think that it can reach more objectives as far as its outside environment is concerned, in the South China Sea, in the East China Sea. So all these ambitions, of course, have created new tensions around China with its neighbors, with the United States, of course, which is a dominant power in the Asia-Pacific region. And so those issues are very important to look at and to see how China and Xi Jinping himself have tried to mitigate those tensions in offering more economic help and assistance to other countries, in developing trade relations with its neighbors, and also exerting more influence in a number of countries around the world. So, and it's not limited to the Asia-Pacific region. It also includes parts of the world like Europe, of course, like Africa and Latin America. So China is also very much more visible and felt as a power in other parts of the world. And it's one of the issues we need I think, to look at much more carefully today than before. Now, China, there is no question about it, is a rising power. The United States is an established power. Now, a lot of people ask themselves, well, are we witnessing a power transition from the United States to China? Is China replacing the United States? Is China willing to replace the United States, not only in Asia, but in the whole world? And beyond that, we also ask a question like, are we moving towards a G2, a world which is going to be controlled by two powers? And if the United States and China get along and agree, we can move forward, but at the same time, power will be confiscated by these two major powers. So all these questions are very important, and different analysts give different answers to these questions. What I can say that is China is a power which is to be reckoned with in East Asia and outside of East Asia. I think the United States will probably remain the only superpower as far as its military is concerned, even if the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, is getting modernized very quickly. I think it will probably become a dominant power in East Asia only. And from an economic point of view, of course, China is a very powerful trade nation, investor now outside of China in every part of the world. But the question is China's soft power as powerful, as influential as the United States soft power? And I mean by soft power, China's ability to export its model of development, to export its culture, its political values, And here a lot of people have questions because China is a one-party system, and how much a one-party system can export its own political model. It's a question which is hard to answer.